Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome into episode 116 of the Second and One podcast. Joining you today is myself, Shiz. We also have Mr. Mo Snell in his return after deployment or wherever he was at.
Yo,
We
yo,
have
yo.
Mr. Joe Biden, aka Taheem Green. Fellas, how y'all feeling today?
Good, man. Good, man. I was in an insane asylum.
Man, it's good. It's a new year, man.
It's a
New
new year. It's a
year,
new president.
new president, new week, new money, whatever they
Everything,
say.
man. We got a black feet. Well, she's not even black, bro. But
Yes, she is.
she's mixed.
Come on, man. Don't do
She's
that.
mixed. She's mixed, but if she was pulled over, she's black. So, so
if she's
that-
pulled over, she's black.
Yes,
I just don't want to. Yeah, she's a minority. I don't want to negate the fact of that she is other
Asian.
things.
I think she's like Asian as well.
Yeah, I think it's some type of Asian. Other
Same
things
thing with,
besides
but it was the same thing with Barack. You know, Barack was a few different things, but
Yeah.
you know, he was just
well,
black.
no, his dad is African.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think, but his mom was white. I think.
yeah, but you know, African American, they labeled him as black, but Kamala's
Kamala
black.
Harris. Yeah. She's black, but there's other
All right.
things in there. But yeah.
So
100%.
how this podcast works, we talk mostly about sports, hip hop, politics, and everything in between. We give it to you straight, no chaser, and if we offend you, we apologize slightly. How we usually kick things off, we have our taking a shot segment where we give a bold prediction about one of the categories I just named. Collectively, you know, we do about 80%. You know, that's pretty good, but you know, when you're taking a shot, you're bound to have a few hiccups here and there. I'm gonna kick it off. I'm gonna take it to the NFC South, an opponent that was just eliminated, the New Orleans Saints.
This should be good.
It's over, man. They,
fuck
they
me,
their
yeah.
their run, it's completely done. Drew Brees is going to retire. I feel that, and I feel confident in saying this, is that the Saints will finish third or worse in that division next season. It's going to be they're going to be heading towards a full rebuild. They do still have some good players. They have Michael Thomas, aka Slant Boy. They have Alvin Kamara. Defense, you know, they have some players, but without Breeze, you know, to you know kind of steer the ship, I'm not a believer in Taysom Hill long term. Jameis Winston, complete wild card. If they don't bring a guy in, maybe you know if they bring Stafford in or if they bring in Matt Ryan, my taking a shot changes. But if they stay status quo, like you know, rocking with one of those quarterbacks, I don't see this team winning more than like you know 6 games, maybe 5 games, and I'm confident in saying they'll finish third or worse in the NFC South. I think the Bucks for sure they'll be back next year because I don't think Brady's going to retire. With the Panthers, they should be better now that Christian McCaffrey, you know, he's been injured, but you know he didn't have to suffer too many hits on that body, so he should be very fresh next year. And then with the Falcons, you know, new coach, they should be, you know, rejuvenated depending on what they do with Matt Ryan. Maybe they even draft a quarterback. But with the Saints, their cap is not good. Their players are kind of disgruntled. Michael Thomas might be looking for a trade similar to DeShaun Watson. I just think that, you know, they went all in this year. They've been going all in the past few years, and, you know, it's kind of come to a head now that Drew Brees is getting ready to retire. So my taking a shot is that they will finish third or worse in the NFC South next year, barring some type of huge trade. Taheem, welcome back. Your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't know for the simple fact that defense is a lot better than we think it is. I think that defense helped them get to where they were at. That NFC is not getting any worse though. They are going to lose Drew Brees. I don't think he officially retired yet, but he's fucking done. He's not coming back. They do have Jameis Winston, who got his eyes corrected and possibly can be a at least top 8 quarterback. And I think with those weapons that you got, man, if he could,
Top 8.
yeah, bro, Jameis could throw the ball, but he couldn't see.
Hey,
That was his issue.
You won't find a bigger Jameis fan than me, but he ain't
Bro.
top 18, let alone 8.
Listen,
Yeah,
give
get Jameis to the top half of the league, and that's a bonus.
give that man a full camp with corrective vision surgery, which he got. He will be at least top 8. So I think they slide a little bit, but I don't think they slide as much as maybe you think. Um, but I do think, because I think if they don't find a quarterback, like if they go with Jameis, he's really going to have to prove something in the offseason, which I think he can because he can see now. But if he can't, I mean, they can go out there and get a couple quarterbacks. They might be able to go out there and get the wins because I think they have enough pieces that they can give up their first round draft pick this year and maybe next year or something like that if they are trying to maximize the time that they have with those pieces that they have because Kamara won't be there forever. Like you said, Slant Boy might want to get out. So they got to do something. If they're going to do something, they're going to do it now.
All right, Chanel, your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I think they'll. I don't. I think they'll be second because I think the Falcons. I think the Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan and Julio. I think that jigs up. So I think they're gone. I just don't think Carolina is that good. Like Taheem said, the Saints defense is a lot better, probably than people think or that we give them credit for. And then I think Sean Payton has proven that he's just a flat out good coach.
Yeah,
like regardless of what quarterback they have, they still seem to, whether it's Taysom Hill, you can put Jameis back there. They had Teddy Bridgewater. The quarterback doesn't really seem to matter that much. I think his coaching skill to get the best out of the players is just that good that they'll at least be competitive. So I don't see them. I guess even if next year's a down year, it would still be like 8-8 at worst type of team. I don't think they will fall off into like 6-10 or anything like that. But I think they finish second next year. I think they'll still be competitive even without Drew Brees.
All right, fair enough. All right, moving on. Taheem, what is your taking the shot, sir?
Oh, my taking the shot is I'm gonna take it to Brooklyn because that's the easiest go-to place to go to.
Oh, all right.
I think this big three is going to get a championship. I think this big three that they have put together is going to give you a championship. Why? Because, when we first heard Kyrie left, right? It was because he thought that the earth was flat and he was trying to find the end of it, right? But that's not the case. He was just having, I don't want to say mental issues, but from all the things that are happening in society, it was just weighing down on him. And I respect that, man, because for a black man who has money, who is popular, I think it affects you a different way. And he felt like he had to help out in some way. He felt like there's other things going on that was bigger than basketball, so he had to take that time off. The only wild thing about it, he just didn't tell anybody what he was doing. Like, he didn't respect the organization enough to say, hey, man, I'm just going through some stuff right now. I just need a couple of days off. I need some time. I think he only told like Kevin Durant and like two other people. He didn't tell ownership or anybody. He didn't tell coach, nothing. So I think that was the only, mistake he made. But when you think about it, like those three guys on the floor, because you don't have to play them at the same time and pull them off the floor at the same time. Like, they're going to give you enough productivity that they can go out there and score with anybody. The only issue that they're going to have is on the defensive end. And I don't even want to say chemistry because those guys have been in the league long enough to understand that they got to get the chemistry, so they'll work hard on that. I think it's just going to be the defensive end. But I think as the season goes on, they get better conditioned, they start to know each other, that defense is going to come together, and then they're going to be a real problem. And I think they can give the Lakers a run for their money because I don't think the Lakers will be able to score consistently like like the Nets can. Because who's the third option on the Lakers? Kuzma?
It would be Schroeder, Harrell.
Yeah. See, like
Kuzma.
And that's not good enough when the third option on the Nets is probably Kyrie.
But it's all about fit though, because Harden and Kyrie, I mean, I think they're going to win the East. Like I've said that before.
Yeah, 100%.
The matchup against the Lakers is going to be problematic because with AD and LeBron, I mean, Durant is probably your best. DeAndre Jordan can defend too, but they take him off the floor at times. So out of your big three, Durant is your best defender, and I don't really trust Durant on either AD or LeBron because then he might end up in foul trouble. So then it becomes, it's going to be a matchup problem for both sides actually because nobody can really guard Kevin Durant either without getting into foul trouble either. I just think the chemistry is going to be problematic, and we can. I mean, we have this as a topic later on, but just one of the things like you let Colin Sexton drop 42 points on you last night, and
yeah, you're right, and that's not good. That's not good at all.
That's an excuse. I mean, he has improved. His third year, he's gotten a lot better, but 42, like,
but it's
come on, man.
And I think that's the wake up call that these guys are going to need consistently through the through the season. Because let me if for some reason if it was the Nets number 1, Cavs 8, Sexton is not going to drop 42 points in a minute playoff game.
No,
that's not going to happen. But I think during the season, they need those reminders to let them know, like, hey, you guys need to get better. Like, this is not going to be automatic. It's not going to be, oh, I just show up and we win this championship. You guys are going to have to work at it. And that's what they're going to get. And I think it's more beneficial to them if they get it from a shitty-ass team like the Cavaliers. You know what I mean? Because if you get it from, like, the Celtics or the Sixers, it's easier to say, well, that's a really good team. That's not out of the realm of somebody on their team dropping 42. But we're talking about the Cavaliers. Like, y'all got to get it together, and I think they will.
See, the thing, like, one of the fears that I have is, like let's say they do play Boston. Mm-hmm. Like, the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown tandem is going to be problematic for the Brooklyn guards. Yeah. Like, you might be able to, like, throw Marcus Smart on a guy. I mean, for the Nets, like, I don't know, like, Joe Harris can't guard nobody. Kyrie Irving, kind of a liability. James Harden doesn't really defend. It's going to be problems, but then on the opposite end, they could just score at will. So that's what you're going to have to do.
And their thing might be to literally play that fast running gun basketball to tire you out, so you don't have to expend as much energy. The Nets won't on the defensive end because those guys would be so tired from guarding them. But
yeah, you think that the Nets are winning a championship this year?
Yes.
This year, okay. See, I think they win the East. I don't think they can beat the Lakers, but if they get to the finals, anything is possible. So you think they're going to win the championship this year? I don't, but I can see it happening possibly. Snell, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think they can win it this year just because I don't know if they're going to have enough time to consistently play to get their rotation right. Like, I think the Cavs beating them. I think that's just we don't have our rotation down, like, because they got rid of so many guys. So once they get that down, I don't think I think they beat the Cavs by 100. But they're just not having a true rotation of, all right, we're gonna, like Tatum was saying, like, all right, we're gonna leave you two on here and then take Kyrie off, and then we're gonna have Kyrie, KD to start the second, then bring like. They just don't have that rotation figured down to this is our maximum. This is where we get our maximum from. So I think once they get that, they'll be fine. But I don't know if with coronavirus you're gonna get enough consistency of it to bring it to the playoffs to carry that all the way to the finals and win. Because I feel like the way these games are getting canceled, it's gonna go from you have a season of games kind of getting canceled here and there to get to the playoffs bubble, no games getting canceled. You play every time, no fail. So that's kind of a switch that I think might throw teams off. Mm-hmm. So I just don't think that this year, I don't think they have enough time to bring it all together to win the whole thing. But they have the talent to do it. I just don't think they have the time to do it per se.
All right, moving on. Snow, what is your taking the shot, sir?
Well, listen, man, we're trending closer to my last week's taking a shot of one black head coach. I just want to bring that bring that back up because that's the way it's sliding. But listen, man, we can stay in the NFL. We can really stay right in that NFL, and we'll stay right in Pittsburgh. This Mike Tomlin's gone. This Steelers team is about to get completely blown up. I'm convinced. I think the world will now be convinced this Steelers team is about to get completely blown up. This signing of Dwayne Haskins
that was crazy.
That's possibly one of the craziest signings I've ever heard of. And I didn't even know you could sign guys during this time.
I didn't either.
When the season,
I thought like, one of the playoff teams could sign a player, but not a team that's already out because like let's just open up free agency.
So regardless, nonetheless, I know the Steelers are they're proud of the Rooney Rule, and they brought that in, but it's over. Tomlin's out. These Steelers are they're going to start from complete scratch, and I don't know. I just think it's a complete. I think so. How you feel about the Saints is how I feel about the Steelers. I think you see the Steelers take a huge step back, and I mean they're competing with the Bengals next season.
No, the Bengals gonna probably be better than they are.
Yeah, like I honestly think they take a huge step back next year.
See, the only reason I think Tomlin is going to stay because the process is already late. Like we've already seen 6 coaches get hired already, and unless you already got some deal with like some big coach, because I don't even know if like Eric Bieniemy is an option anymore. Like,
bro, he might. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get hired.
We're going to talk. We'll talk about him in a minute, but man, like 6 positions been filled. He hasn't. I thought like the coaching dominoes wouldn't even start falling until after the Chiefs were eliminated or they won the Super Bowl. But now there's only one job left, and if you're the Steelers, why would you wait this long in order to hire somebody unless you got like Bill Cowher coming back or Jimmy Johnson is coming out? Like, unless you got something crazy like that pending, I just don't see why they would wait this long to fire Tomlin. But I do agree that it is uneasy times in that Pittsburgh. Like, you're bringing in Dwayne Haskins for what? Like, do you think he's the future? Or like, I don't know. They should be, they also should be, on the phones trying to get a Matt Ryan or a Matthew Stafford or even like a Jimmy G or something. Big Ben. Yeah, I think Big Ben is done. I think he's done.
As the executive manager of the 40 fucking Niners, we are not giving you Jimmy G because you don't have anything to give us back. We don't want any of your receivers.
They give you like a
We don't want the first round pick because it's high 20s.
I just don't think I think if they got rid of Jimmy, they get some sort of cap relief as well. So that might be
I personally think the best team in the world, the 49ers, will do something to get DeShaun Watson, and then we'll just be the best team in the universe.
Well, yeah, NFL can't allow that to happen. That would be pretty.
You think they'll block that? So wait, so let me get this clear. You don't want to see Watson on the 49ers because you know that's going to be dangerous for the rest of the NFL.
Well, I mean, if that's one of his choices, and I don't think they will block it. But I'm
not talking about Roger Goodell. I'm talking about Shiz.
Oh, y'all
you don't want to see it.
Hell no, because y'all would be a contender. Like y'all would definitely be one of the better teams in the NFC. Because that's all y'all need. Y'all have everything. I mean, yes, you could use some work on the secondary, but y'all were also injured. So once you get your players back, you add DeShaun. I mean, y'all ready. Because even with Jimmy G, y'all still win games. Like y'all just you can't win games with your backups. But if Jimmy G stays healthy, y'all still might make a playoff run this year. So that's the thing.
All right, yes, I just want to hear that at your mouth. That's all.
But yeah, the Steelers. I just think it's too late in the game for them to fire Tomlin unless Bill Cowher's coming back. Taheem, your thoughts?
That Tomlin leaving is like it's hard for me to see him leaving because he's such a stand-up guy, and I think if he had already left by now, but I don't see a reason for him staying. I think he's falling into that same. They're getting to that same mode of he's losing the locker room, like who was the coach for the Bengals for like 20 years? The black guy, Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis was there for like 20 years. He's not a bad head coach. He just lost the locker room because he's been there for so long. Like all right, think of it this way, right? When you were in middle school, right? Middle school starts in 5th grade, right? You had the same principal and the same teachers for 4 fucking years. You were tired of their asses by year 4. You want to get the fuck out of there. Not because you want to go to 9th grade, just because you want to stop seeing their faces. Like you didn't want to go to homeroom no more. You didn't want to see that fucking teacher. So I think just their faces is just starting to wear on that team. Like, yo, it's like you might as well put this man might as well be a statue in the door when you walk in because you're always just going to see his face. You get tired of that. You need to move.
It's just no. I think they hired. Didn't they hire like 9 different? Like it's just a shit show. They hired like 9 different. They hired like 9 different coaches. Like they're bringing in like at some point, somebody in the Rooney family has to wake up and be like, wait a second, what is going on? Like we hired 9 different. I think they hired 9 different position and like offensive, defensive coaches.
Yeah, on the outside of Tomlin, right?
Yeah, on the
like
outside.
in his tenure, they always hire.
I mean, like right now, like this off season, like they've hired like 9 people. Yeah. Like not like 9 different coaching changes outside of the head coach without bringing a new head coach in.
That's like somebody crashing their car, totaling on it, and they change all the parts on the inside, but they don't change the body of the car, so it's still riding around with a smashed up hood.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, you know what? Nah, I know this car was an accident, but we're gonna keep it.
We'll keep it going, baby.
Don't touch the engine. Let the engine stay. Just change everything around it. Like what? So yeah. Just. I don't know. I find it hard to see him make it to next season. If he does, he will be on the shortest leash in football history. That's where it's at. Because between those coaches changes and this Dwayne Haskins, I don't know. I just don't know. This is crazy.
All right. So round of applause for our taking a shot segment. All right, moving on into these topics, we are in the championship round for the NFL. First game on the docket, 3:00 start, or 3:05 actually. We have the Bucks visiting Lambeau Field to play the Packers. Packers are 3.5-point home favorites. Snell, your team, your thoughts. You're right there. You're right there.
Thoughts.
Listen, man. I don't know if anybody tunes in weekly, but you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
we got to say our prayers because we cannot cover a twin bed, and here comes a hot Aaron Rodgers. So just say a couple prayers. That's all I can do. I don't do anything else. I don't overanalyze it. I don't look too far in it. I just hope that this defense, not even the defense, just the secondary, somewhat shows up like they did
last week. Y'all showed up in a big way. Well, linebackers did.
Yeah, the linebackers showed up.
Dude was flying around. He was on. What was it, Vontae Davis? Bro, he was in every play.
Devin White.
Devin White. He was in every play.
Yeah, Devin White, because he didn't play versus Washington, so that week off, I guess that was a big.
I'm ready, coach.
Yeah, so we needed that, but again, that secondary, man, is very questionable. Winfield made a good play. He was beat, and he just happened to make a good play, but he was still beat comfortably. You know what I mean? I got beat, and I managed to recover and cause a fumble, but without that, you just beat, and that's a 20, 30-yard catch.
Yeah, so, I was watching Skip and Shannon said he don't know what Cook was thinking because Winfield was on his outside right shoulder, and Cook looked to his left to like try to protect the ball, like leaving his whole right side open, and Winfield just came and popped the ball out. Like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was a huge play in the game.
Yeah,
it was going back and forth, and then the Saints, they started turning the ball over, and that was all she wrote. Quick side note, I'm glad Cook fumbled that ball because I still remember when he played for the Packers and caught that ball from Aaron Rodgers and ended the Cowboys season. But that's neither here or there. But my thoughts on the game is, man, like Rodgers is hot. You can't deny it. Like he's scorching hot.
So I'm sorry not to cut you off. I hate Aaron Rodgers as a person. Like I'd beat him up, but
you don't even know him.
Yeah, I know him. His family don't like him. That's all I need to know.
That's true. If your family
don't like you, I can't. If something's wrong.
Like in a year of COVID, everybody coming together, trying to piece things up. If your family still don't like you after a year of COVID, you might be a bad person.
He's like he comes off as this super arrogant person. Like he'll walk into a room full of scientists and out-science this and be like, yo, I'm the smartest person in this room. What?
So he has like the Donald Trump syndrome.
Yeah, he's
where he just thinks he's better than everybody.
Exactly.
And, can do it. But the thing with Aaron Rodgers, he is
he can ball.
great.
He can ball. He can ball. I would say he's a first round Hall of Famer, 100%.
But without question,
he is a what for the last what? So we'll go last decade. Top 4, top 5 quarterbacks of the last decade. Like he is
top 2. Is like, to me
top 3.
Top 2. Because no,
like
last decade because you still got Peyton Manning and you still got Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Well, and you're talking about 2010 to 2020 because Peyton was kind of done like that back half.
But even with a broke neck, he went out and won a Super Bowl. Granted, it was a defense.
Yeah.
But if you got a scar on the back of your neck as long as a snake, and you go out there and win a Super Bowl, bro, you built a different way.
All right. So here are my thoughts on the game. The Packers, I think the Packers, if everything goes according to plan, like it's a clean game, not too many turnovers, back and forth, the Packers should win. But I think there's just something with Brady in these spots, man. I think that there is an element of like, not godly, but there's an element of like intimidation when Brady walks onto the field in these type of games. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to ball out, but I just think there's going to be some type of critical mistake made by somebody somewhere on the field, whether it's a fumble or, turnover here. Something's going to happen where Brady, somebody on the Packers is going to make a grave mistake.
Yeah, so somebody other than Aaron Rodgers is going to lose the game for them.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though, man. But the Packers don't turn the ball over.
I know. Well, you
talk about like a fumble or something, right? Or a catch and run.
They don't turn the ball over except when they played y'all earlier in the year. Y'all crushed them.
Yeah, that's fool's gold. Like,
I would go to that game and use it as a reference for this one.
Yeah, I'm like, if you look now, like in this current hot streak that they're on, they don't turn the ball over.
I think
I agree.
Unless it's like a Valdez like that may be what I need. I might need like a Valdez Scantling fumble.
He need to catch a slant and somebody knock the ball out.
Yeah.
But so my take on the game is I think we'll know who's going to win the game in the first quarter, because if the Patriots, if the Tampa Bay defense could move Aaron Rodgers around, get him off of his spots, make him feel uncomfortable, then they're going to win that game. Then that means they're getting pressure on him. That's the only way they can win the game. But if Aaron Rodgers can sit in that pocket comfortably, he's going to light that fucking defense up.
Well, here's the thing. Packers usually start off hot, and then they let the teams back in the game. I read a stat where in the first half, the Packers outscore their opponents by like over 100 points. But in the second half, they only outscore their opponents by 12, like throughout the entire year. So,
that's kind of how Brady likes to play. Brady will just if he can hang around, he'll beat you in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. So if this game, let's say halftime, this game is like 17-10.
Yeah, that's what the Packers don't want.
Packers are up. It's Brady time. But if if the Packers are up, 31-6, all right, it's over. So as long as the Bucs can keep it close by halftime, I think they'll have a legitimate shot in that second half, because I think they'll make adjustments. Brady will start barking at his teammates to get their act together, and Packers might start to get a little tight a little bit. So my heart said no, my brain says pick the Packers, but before the playoffs started, I said the Bucs are going to the Super Bowl, so I'm going to stick with my pick, and the Bucs win this game. I'm going to say 27-24. Brady is off to try to win number 7. Any more thoughts on the game?
I just want to say, I actually think the Tampa Bay's offense is better than Green Bay's offense. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have way too many weapons. Like, they have so many weapons that they don't know what the fuck to do with them. You got 2 great tight ends and 3 great wide receivers. If they stretch that Packers defense, Packers ain't gonna know what the fuck to do with that, because their linebackers aren't that great. And I think they play 2 linebackers and 1 down. So they usually put a linebacker on the line outside of a defensive end, either on the left or on the right, and they just play 2 linebackers. And they're doing that, I'm assuming, to cover up the speed deficiency in whatever linebacker that is. So if you have these tight ends and you split them out, you got to pull that linebacker out, and then a Gronk is going to be too hard to handle for him, and a Brait I think is going to be too fast to handle. So it's going to come all down to game planning.
I'll say this: I know one thing for certain: the Bucs win this game, I'll be in Tampa Bay Super Bowl week. Book
me.
I ain't saying I'll be in the stadium, but I will be in the city.
You're gonna be at a local bar drunk.
Exactly. I'll be there. I'll be in that. I'll be in Florida.
That city.
I don't care. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
All right. Look, I hope it happens for you. Moving on. Second game, 6:40 kickoff. We have the red hot Buffalo Bills.
Wait, they both on Saturday?
Sunday.
Both on Sunday.
Both on Sunday.
Yeah. Red hot Buffalo Bills going to Arrowhead to play the Chiefs. Chiefs 3-point favorites. Question mark for Patrick Mahomes. He's going to play. It's not official, but more than I would, it's got to be like 95% that he does play. He's going to be hobbled though. He had something was wrong with his foot earlier in the game, and then he got knocked out with a concussion later on in the game. Buffalo Bills coming in with a lot of momentum. Josh Allen's playing the best football of his career. Getting Stephon Diggs was great for him, really elevated his game. But with all that said, I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm not the Buffalo Bills, like, they're a very dangerous team, but in this spot against the Chiefs, Andy Reid at home, I can't take the Bills in this situation, no matter how hobbled Patrick Mahomes is. I just think I do think it's going to be a really, really tough game, tight game, but I think the Chiefs make enough plays to, win a close last-minute field goal type of game. I don't expect a blowout by any means, but I do think that the experience of Andy Reid being in this game and, being at home with, might I say, they had 16,000 fans last week. They might try to get 20-plus this week, which is going to be a clear advantage. Mm-hmm. I just think that the Chiefs use their championship pedigree, find a way to win this game, and go on to the Super Bowl to try to go back-to-back. Snell, your thoughts?
The thing that I think is going to change the game is that it's going to be like that 90s Jordan. If you breathe on Patrick Mahomes, that's a penalty. So I think that's going to be the difference in the game, is that if you're the Bills, I don't think you can really like if you hit Patrick Mahomes how Lamar got hit last week, you're going to jail. Like, you're not even like you're going to jail. Like that, you got a court date on Monday. Like, and you're out of the game, and you got a court. So I think that's gonna is good. It's good. Like you said, like a Patrick Mahomes is hobbled, but I think it's gonna in this situation, in this spot, I think it's gonna work against the Bills, and you're gonna get like a stupid Patrick Mahomes is scrambling on the sideline. You touch him, and it's like, 15-yard penalty. Doug McDermott gets mad. That's another 15. Like, it turns from a 8-yard scramble into a 38-yard play. Like, one of those type of situations. So I just think in this spot, like you said, the Chiefs are at home. They might let 25,000 in this week, and you have to be ultra careful when applying pressure to Patrick Mahomes. I think it's a bad spot to be in. Especially for how aggressive that Bills defense plays and how they like to get after a quarterback. I think the refs ain't gonna let you do that. I think it's gonna be a lot of ticky tack penalties that go against the Bills. So a little home cooking, and the Chiefs win.
Yeah. All right, Taim, your thoughts?
Yeah, sad to say. I think you're right. Like, somebody's gonna fucking burp on them, and they're gonna give a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, it's 15.
Like, and I hate that aspect of the game, because it's coming. Like, the Bills are gonna get a bad call in that game, because the NFL is trying to protect Patrick Mahomes more than a need to. Like he's going to get hit legally within the confines of the rule, and they're going to throw that flag.
Yep.
Because they're going to throw the flag to knock the edge off of the Bills' defense, to slow them down. Because, like, let's just say, for the first quarter, Patrick is just getting hit, and they're all legal hits. And then that second quarter, he gets whacked, and he gets knocked out of the game. Like, I just feel like the NFL does not want that because they feel like it's going to be a hit on them, overall. Because let's just say the Chiefs wind up winning the game. Nobody wants to see a Super Bowl with a backup court with Chad Henne and fucking Tampa Tom. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, that's the blowout city.
Yeah, so they're gonna try to protect them, which I think is totally wrong. They shouldn't be trying to protect anybody. I mean, you just play the game in the confines of the rules. But overall, who's gonna win this game? I feel like the Bills got a real shot, man.
They definitely got a real shot.
They got a real shot because that defense is so good, and they do everything good on the offensive side of the ball that Kansas City can't handle. Like, they run the ball really good, which Kansas City doesn't have the best of a run defense. We saw that. We saw that when they played the Browns. The Browns ran the ball all over them. And then when it comes to the throwing the ball, I think he's such a good route runner that he'll get away with sitting inside of those zones. He'll be sitting right in the zone where nobody's at, and Josh Allen get a lot of those. And then at the same time, Josh Allen, he's a running quarterback. Like, he's big. He can get out of the pocket. He can move. I just think the Bills are going to present a problem that the Chiefs have never faced before. It'll be so new that they won't have time to adjust and, and really, really, solidify that game until maybe the ending of the fourth quarter. But I honestly do hope that a bill gets loose and knocks Patrick Mahomes into the next year.
You can't because another thing the NFL can't afford is they definitely can't afford for Patrick Mahomes to get concussed back-to-back weeks. That's an absolute.
It'll look like he wasn't healed the first time.
Exactly. That's an absolute.
Listen. And this is my thing. I don't think he's healed right now to play.
Oh no!
Like this week coming up, I don't think he should play because of the way he looked off of
he know where he was at.
That hit was not a bad hit. No. Something else happened. Like he lost. Like his brain turned off for a couple seconds. It tried to reboot, and it went like Windows 98 and kept skipping.
But he did run to the tunnle just to show that he had his equilibrium back. But
listen,
he was trying to do the little two-step to get up.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he ran to the locker room because somebody was running on the side with him and telling him which direction to run in. That's the only reason why he got to the locker room. Because somebody was telling him which direction to go.
Yeah, if you're at the Kansas City facilities like this week, like all the lights are off. Like keep.
Yeah, he can't. He can't see shit.
Yeah, like
keep those lights off.
Like Patrick is sensitive to light right now. Like keep all the light.
My man is walking around with ice bags all over his head, trying to keep his brain from swelling outside of his ears. He is not ready to play football after that hit. Like, and if they really are trying to protect guys from CTE, because some guys get hit, you can tell they're concussed. They kind of are just out of it. Because it was Luke Kuechly that he just kept getting concussions.
Yeah,
like he just could not stop getting them, and that possibly could be Patrick Mahomes because that hit wasn't so hard. It was just like a tap, and he lost his fucking mind. He didn't know where he was at, so. He might be susceptible to that type of concussion tendency like Luke Kuechly was. But, yeah, if he comes out and gets another concussion, somebody's getting fired.
Yeah, Roger Goodell will get fired.
Yeah, somebody's done.
So hopefully we get a clean game and, let the best team win in that situation. Hopefully injury doesn't determine the winner. Hopefully we just get a nice, clean football game and, let the best team win. But moving on, we have some off the field news. DeShaun Watson, he another week, more stories. He actually had I don't know if that actually took place, but there was a scheduled march on his behalf in Houston last week, or a protesting march to either make sure they hire the right personnel, the right coach, or whatever. But he urged them on Twitter not to do so, but I think they did it anyway. Now, We have I think Eric Bieniemy is scheduled to interview with the Texans. I'm not sure if that's taking place yet or not. Really, I think if they don't hire him, like I think like they're going to hire him just so they have an opportunity to keep DeShaun. Like I think they've already pissed him off so much that they're just going to hire. Like if DeShaun Watson says publicly, "Please hire Eric Bieniemy," that's who they're going to hire because at this point in time, from the reports, and we don't know if they're true or not. There's people in Houston that say none of these rumors are true. He's staying in Houston, blah, blah, blah. They just sound scared to me. If Adam Schefter's reporting that, he's disgruntled, then there's some legitimacy to that. I think, if they don't get this hire right, he's going to force his way out. And, there's been talk about the Jets, talk about the Dolphins. Tahim would want him in San Francisco. Bears, maybe.
We really don't know. Watson?
Yeah, we really don't know what because he has a no trade clause, so we really don't know exactly what teams he would accept a trade to.
I think he would accept one to the Niners.
Oh yeah, I think he would accept one to the Niners.
Yeah.
The thing with the Jets, he's going to be looked upon as a savior. Like people are. I was listening to ESPN New York yesterday. And they said, I think it was Keyshawn Johnson that said, if DeShaun Watson is traded to the Jets, he's automatically the best quarterback in New York football history. And he started talking about like Eli and
that's a little much.
He's
I think he's close. I think he's number 2.
Namath, all the quarterbacks.
So it's like 3.
Yeah, actually, from a talent standpoint,
that's what he meant. Yeah.
Okay. I
mean, if you're talking about pure athleticism and talent, he's probably 1.
Yeah, that's what he meant. That's what he meant.
Okay, but if we're talking about just overall quarterbacking ability, he's probably 3 because you'd have to put Eli above him and you have to put Namath above him.
Well, he got to win
because they won.
Yeah, he got to win. Everybody's above him. Phil Simms, Boomer Esiason, all of them above him till you win.
Well, shit. What did they? I mean, I'm talking about these guys. I'm talking about won championships.
That's what I'm saying.
Namath, Boomer Esiason won the Super Bowl.
No, but he took him far. He took the Jets far.
Shit, I mean,
Phil Simms.
You could get him a block away from McDonald's, but if you don't get to the drive-thru, what the fuck use is it?
Well, listen, look at my man. Look at Phil Simms. He's a Super Bowl winner. You ain't just gonna come to New York and be like, yeah, I'm greater than Phil Simms. Like, stop it.
That's different. Yeah, that's different though. That's like man, because Phil Simms played with LT when LT was doing coke off of strippers and going out there and tackling people.
Well, Keyshawn was basing this off of
pure talent, though. Yeah,
Keyshawn was basing this because like when he was with the Jets, they had some success in a season or two, and he says he gets treated in New York like he's a 5-time Super Bowl champion, but he's only maybe been to like the AFC Championship game or whatever. And he's saying that DeShaun, if he got them to like the playoffs and won a game or two, he would be labeled as like the greatest New York quarterback of all time. That's where he was kind of going off of. Because like the Jets have been in the cellar for so long.
I think he has
to get them to the playoffs. That's
I think he may have meant New York Jet quarterback of all time. Okay, I see where this is going.
Even if
because.
He's either 1 or 2 because you still got Namath, but other than that, he's fucking 1.
Yeah, no, because like Eli Manning is beloved. Like there's no way.
It's crazy because New York gave him so much shit and he never gave them shit back. He just gave them 2 championships.
And
they still gave him shit after those 2 years. Like even after that second Super Bowl. They were still like, man, he ain't good enough. Blah blah blah.
It's crazy. Like, yo, these New York fans. I would say Jet side and Jet side don't know what ungrateful is like because they haven't won shit in 15,000 years. But the Giants, I think they were just like they're crazy. Like the fans, they're like just so ungrateful of Eli. Like, yo, Eli brought y'all 2 Super Bowls against Tom Brady at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
me personally, I don't really think he's a Hall of Famer, but we're not going to discuss that this podcast.
You know what? Next podcast, we need to bring on like 2 other people, and we need to discuss the Hall of Fame because in the group chat, I told y'all what Colin Hurd said. He said T.O. shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
That's stupid.
But how?
Yeah, 100%.
That doesn't make no sense. Like,
so I think he was saying that because T.O. played so long, like he had dead years. In that stretch of how long did he play? I don't know. I'm just going to say 15 years. He played 15 years, which is probably wrong. But he had dead spaces in there compared to some guys who were like straight impactful for like 4 or 6 years. And he's saying those guys should be in because they had an impact on the game. But I'm like, so if that's your rationale, then you're saying Jerry Rice shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I mean, Jerry
That's
Rice
ludicrous.
won. He won Super Bowl, so you got to take him out. Maybe like who played for a while and didn't win.
So you're talking about like a Frank Gore. Frank Gore was in the NFL, and he's third all-time rushing yards.
Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer. Everybody knows that.
Later, he's another guy that we need to talk about because
and that's going to be so hard. Because listen, I'm a 49ers fan.
He's going to get
Frank
in.
Gore,
he's going to get in, but like 8th ballot.
Listen,
hey, Bally keep that shit.
The best, y'all know what the best ability is.
Longevity,
availability, and that's what it comes down to. But as much as the world loves Bo Jackson, and everybody knows Bo Jackson is great, if you can't get on the field, ain't nothing we can do.
Hey, listen. Well, me personally, my favorite running back, isn't he in the Hall of Fame? O.J. Simpson.
The juice is in.
Yeah, the juice is in, right?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, because they let all the murderers in.
Why is he your favorite running back? I'm curious.
Oh, O.J. Simpson was a beast.
I know he's a beast, but like you didn't really like watch him live or anything. So
he played for one. He played for the 49ers. 2, his style of running is one that I like because he was a taller person. Like he's a taller guy. Like when I look at running backs, because when I played football, I always wanted to be a running back, and all the running backs that like played in the NFL professionally at that time, they were literal guys. Like you talking about like Marshall Faulk, 5'8", I can't even think of, but Barry Sanders, fucking 5 foot nothing. You know what I'm saying? But O.J. Simpson was 6'1". You had who was the dude that played for the Titans? Came from Ohio State. Eddie George, he was another tall back. Eric Dickerson, he was another tall running back. Like I was always liked watching taller running backs because I was a taller person. That's the only reason,
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Ricky Waters, he was a taller running back.
Yeah, we grew up watching the guys you just mentioned, but like OJ had been retired.
And he killed somebody and got away with it.
Yeah,
I mean that's the best attribute in life. I mean, can't beat
so that. At the end of the day, we'll see where DeShaun ends up. I mean, this is going to be the talk of the city all off season. So we'll revisit this probably like once every time we record. So, but other off the field stuff, we have some coaching hires to get to. The Jets, they've hired Robert Saleh from the 49ers. Chargers hired Brandon Staley, former defensive coordinator for the Rams. Jags, as we know, hired Urban Meyer. Eagles surprisingly hired Nick Sirianni. Sirianni. I don't know how to say his name.
I think it's Sirianni.
Sirianni, former Colts offensive coordinator. Lions hired Dan Campbell, Saints tight end coach, and the Falcons hired Arthur Smith, Titans offensive coordinator.
Arthur Smith did they do that because the dude's name is Arthur Blank?
Too bad they couldn't bring Derrick Henry along with them. But these are the coaching hires. I think all of them are trash except Saleh. Yeah, Saleh I like. Urban Meyer's interesting just because the whole Florida dynamic is going to bring a lot of fans to the stadium.
And ask yourself this: what college coach made the transition and became like a really good coach?
Pete Carroll, Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Okay.
Harbaugh wasn't bad. His record-wise, he wasn't bad.
Yeah. In NFL, his record. He wasn't bad at all. I think that culture got toxic really quick, and he was just in it and kicked his ass out.
Who else? It's not many.
Because to me, I think the issue is when you're in college, you're everybody. When you're the coach, you're the GM. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have you're
the father.
Exactly.
A lot of these kids come from broken households.
So when you
somebody
else brought this up.
You're the GM with no cap, so it's easy.
Yeah, exactly. So then when you come to the NFL, like the rules totally different. They change, and like you're not going to be a new college head coach and come in and tell Aaron Donald what to do. Like you're not going to tell him to fix his stance. Like that's not going to happen. So
like fix your face.
Like Aaron, kick that leg out deeper. Nah, man. No.
Yeah.
So and I think it's a big ego hit for some of them. I think they just can't take that. Like I think the reason why Nick Saban. I think he stayed in college for so long. Well, I think he did go to the NFL and that shit didn't work. But I think he stayed in Alabama so long because he controls everything.
Yeah,
Like
he would
like
he would
you
be
don't sell
foolish
a,
to leave.
you don't sell a fucking key of cocaine in Alabama, the entire state, without Nick Saban stamping it off. Like you don't do that. So
Yes,
when you have that much control, you're not giving that up.
Saban tested positive for COVID on a Wednesday and
And
coached
coached
on a
Saturday.
Saturday. Like he's in absolute control, and he would be foolish to leave because everything will become even in the NFL as far as like talent and salary cap and all that, and he won't have as much control.
And I think
go ahead.
No, I was going to think it really tests a coach when you come, because like you brought up a good point, the talent level. Like, all right, let's be for real. Alabama is not only coached better than these teams, their talent level is a lot higher than a lot of these different teams. So you don't have to do much as the coach. You know, I mean, you can literally throw a football out in the middle of the field and Alabama will go win because they're so much talented than everybody else. But like you said, you get to NFL, and the playing field is a lot more even. Like you got to really strategize, pick apart defenses or offensive, whatever side of the ball you're on, and he might just not be able to do it or do it effectively enough to take a team to the Super Bowl. Like Andy Reid could do it. He can pick a defense apart. That's why he is who he is. Bill Belichick, same thing. Sean Payton, same thing. Like those guys can pick defenses apart or offenses.
Yeah. So yeah, these coaching hires. I mean, the Eagles one that was pretty wild to say the least. And there's still one open. The Texans. We'll see what happens. Maybe they're waiting for Eric Bieniemy, or they're going to hire somebody else. I don't know what's going on, but none of these coaching. Like you said, I think the Jets probably look like they got the best coach out of the bunch.
Yeah, that's what I was
with the Jags being the ultimate wild card.
So my thing is this, right? We all know that whole Texans situation is a shit show. What if they can't hire anybody?
Nah, somebody takes a job. Somebody will take it.
Somebody
like Jason Garrett to take that job if it was offered to him. So somebody will take it.
And my thing is, it might come to that because you have, like, if you're an intelligent person, you don't take that job because for one, you don't have any draft picks. You got a disgruntled quarterback. You got no weapons outside of that, and the team is just toxic. The team's not toxic, but it's toxically run, right? Yeah. So why do you go into that situation? I feel like, especially if you're a new head coach like Eric Bieniemy or one of these newer coaches out there that's looking for a job, if you go into that job, that's a trap because you're not going to be able to win, and you're going to be stuck there with no draft picks or anything else to help build that team. And I think J.J. Watt requested a trade. I think he wants off the team.
He didn't. I don't think he officially requested one, but there are rumblings of him like, I want to win.
Like
I want to win, and I'm like my time getting short. So
yeah, he might go to Pittsburgh and play with his brother. You know what I mean? Like so, it's you don't take that job, man. But if you're hungry, if you're Jason Garrett, I guess you take it.
Yeah, I that's the only people I can see like
him or he's like the old Chargers head coach. He might take it.
Yeah, outside of
big what was
I can't think his name.
We talked about him every single week.
I know I can't think of his name now. I want to say
Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn. Yeah, Anthony might take it. Him or Adam Gase.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'll
Gase will take that shit to heartbeat for free.
Yeah, I think that's the only people that you can get to like. Really, the only people you can get to take the job is like somebody who's older that just don't care. Like to me, we bringing in Marvin Lewis. Like Marvin to come in there like.
Nah, I don't even think. I don't think Marvin would take it. But who's
Big Hugh?
Yeah, Big Hugh would take it.
Oh, he would take. He would take a
heartbeat.
He would take a positions coaching job right now. He can't get a job. But somebody like a Leslie Frazier, like somebody like that's kind of like, I'm an old man. Exactly. I ain't got too many more interviews left. Let her know.
Yo, Leslie Frazier to me looks like he could be Obama's cousin.
Yeah, Leslie.
He kind of looks like him.
But somebody like that, like a coach that's just been around, they may we bringing Greg Williams in, like all right, like I'm coming regardless.
Greg.
You know what I mean? Just somebody
who take that shit.
Somebody.
Him and Freddie Kitchens. Does Freddie Kitchens even work in the NFL anymore?
Nah, he's with I think he's with the Giants. To
No,
be,
yeah,
I think
Freddie.
he's,
Yeah,
I think he's on the
Oh,
Giants staff.
Freddie's still in the
Yeah.
league.
Yeah, Freddie's
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, because Baker got him up out of there.
But
Yeah.
no, I think any older coach that had somewhat of like I was an assistant coach and won a Super Bowl, like all right, like, I will take him. Like that's it. But I
Man,
don't
because
think
even
Eric Bieniemy would take it though. I don't think he'd take
even
that
even if they called me up and was like, "Yo, would you come coach the team?" I would say I need to be the GM.
They already got the
And-
GM.
No, you got to fire him. You got to fire him. I need to be the GM. I would need some other shit too.
That's where they went wrong last time. Letting Bill O'Brien be GM.
Yeah,
That was the first.
and that's why they trade, and that's how they traded DeAndre Hopkins for like a
fucking
second
peanuts.
and fifth or whatever. But all right, moving on. We had Phillip
Felipe.
Rivers retire. You know, good career. Never got to the big game. Never won the big game. You know, accumulated a lot of yards. I think he's within like the top 5 yards and touchdowns and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So the question comes: is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Fame quarterback? Is he getting in?
So listen, you know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah,
The
you gonna
best
say yes.
the best ability is availability. Phillip Rivers was never hurt. Always there on Sunday. It was just that I think the biggest thing with him was he went to the Chargers are just a cursed franchise, and that's going to be his biggest mistake is never forcing his way out of San Diego. I think that'll be his biggest downfall. But he gets into the Hall of Fame for sure. That's not even a real question.
You think it's that easy?
That easy.
I think, yeah, he gets in.
He's that, yeah,
But like you said, because he's been in the league so damn long. For me personally, if I was the head official of the Hall of Fame, no, he doesn't get in.
stop.
For the simple fact that he was available, he played for such a long time, he had great numbers, but nobody was really scared of fucking Phillip Rivers. Like he was a MVP regular season guy. That's it. Like I need production in the playoffs, and he just didn't give it to you over what he played for 30 years. He just didn't give it to you. Yeah, man, he's not. I think he'll get in. I don't think he's first round. First ballot. He might be like third or fourth. But if, like I said, if it was me, I wouldn't let him in.
So, passing yards, he's 5th all time.
He's in.
So
This is not a real.
He'll get passed though.
It's not even a real conversation. He's in. It's not even. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler alone. That alone.
He's
Yeah, they let
so-
anybody to the Pro Bowl.
So he's 5th in passing yards and he's also 5th in touchdowns. So I think that's probably enough.
Yeah, but when you have receivers like no, he didn't have Ty. He did for a little bit for a year. Who did he have?
He had Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
He also had
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Tomlinson.
Yeah, he's played. Yeah, LaDainian Tomlinson, Gates. He's got 2.
Gates. Yeah. Like he had
He's
weapons.
He got 2 other Hall of Famers alongside of him to be at his day.
Yeah, next week we gotta have a Hall of Fame list. Like we gotta have. You look at the you look at people you think should be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta give me reasons why.
I can tell you one person that shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. That is
who?
Kurt Warner.
He's
okay.
he is in the Hall of Fame. He has only 1 Super Bowl, right?
He's 1 Super Bowl,
but he went to another one.
And he went to
with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But his career wasn't long. He can't have high like passing yards and touchdowns and stuff like that. He can't.
No, he has some high yards because he played underneath that Mike Martz high powered greatest show on turf offense.
Just count to 3 and throw the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have. I think one of the podcasts down the line in the summertime, maybe like the week they do the inductees for 2021. That week we should discuss we just have a full Hall of Fame podcast because we can get into who should be in Eli or Phillip Rivers if you had to choose one, or we can have we can make it a whole episode because
it's interesting. Like it's the whole process to me it baffles me. I only feel like if you got away with murder and you can run the football, you should be in the Hall of Fame because that's like a double tandem.
So listen, but this is what I'll say. This is always my argument with Kurt Warner. What play do you remember from Kurt Warner's Super Bowl?
Say it again.
From Kurt when the Rams won the Super Bowl, what play do you remember?
The Titans, the last Titans play.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
short by a yard.
Yeah,
short
that's
by a
it.
yard.
But
That's all.
it
That's
might
all
be
you
because they
remember.
played it. It might be because they played that one play so much, like during TV. But yeah, I don't remember anything Kurt Warner did in that game.
When Eli Manning Super Bowls, either of them.
Oh yeah, you remember all his big passes or the catches.
That's all I need.
But that
That's
that
all I need.
doesn't mean anything, though.
I'm talking about if you're talking Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks, you have one that won a Super Bowl. I don't remember it. I don't remember anything. I remember Kevin Dyson being short. But if you ask me about Eli Manning's Super Bowl, you remember the pass to Plexico Burris, the pass to David Tyree, the pass to Mario Manningham. Like those are three separate plays of the quarterback making a big play, and he has 2 Super Bowls compared to Kurt Warner's one. And you try to tell me Eli isn't a Hall of Famer? Come on.
We'll get into it at another scheduled date because this can go on for like 3 hours. But other NFL news: Dwayne Haskins signs to the Steelers. We kind of touched on that. Bill O'Brien becomes the offensive coordinator for Alabama. You know that for him.
Wasn't he there before?
No, he was at Penn State.
Yeah, he's at Penn State.
Okay.
I think for Bill O'Brien, that's probably like the best thing he could have possibly done because Alabama, they're going to win so many games, and they're going to offer Bill O'Brien, a college team is going to offer him a head coaching job in a year or two. Just like they did with Sarkisian, did with Lane Kiffin, like all these guys that had issues. Like they went to Alabama, was the OC for a year or two, got huge jobs. So
to be honest, the way that Bill O'Brien turned, like he survived like that whole Penn State situation, I'm shocked he just didn't get a big head coaching job like right out the gate. Like he don't know math, but he knows how to recruit.
I think
he knows how
definitely
to recruit and coach a little bit, but he don't understand the numbers.
Yeah, he don't.
Yeah, I think he should definitely stay in college. He taking that Penn State job when they were coming off that Sandusky nonsense. That's going to hold some weight. So good for him. All right. Anything else left in football?
No.
No. All right.
Get us to Sunday, man. That's it.
Yeah, for real. Well, I mean, we almost there. It was Thursday.
Round of applause.
Oh yeah.
All right, moving on. We kind of touched on the Nets, but let's take another quick deep dive. So as we did mention, Kyrie Irving returned and Colin Sexton dropped 42 on his head. But one thing that
came 42 chicken nuggets.
One thing that I did notice that was interesting. I was looking at the field goal attempts. So Durant shot 24 times. Harden shot 14 times. Kyrie Irving shot 28 times. So Kyrie Irving, who's been missing in action for 2+ weeks, comes back and is leading the team in field goal attempts. That is an immediate problem that needs to be addressed. I'm sure Steve Nash and the staff will, but if you're, coming back from a 2-week hiatus and you have added a significant piece to your roster, wouldn't you think to let me get my, let me just try to work my way back in. You don't want to become like the alpha guy when you're the third best player on the team now. So I think there's something a little bit off with Kyrie. I'm not going to call him mentally ill or mentally deranged. That's just extreme.
Yeah, wow.
For him to be like Kevin Durant is by far the best player on the team. Mm-hmm. So for you to come back and take more shots than him, that's almost disrespectful in my opinion. And that needs to be addressed. So that's really all I have to say on the Nets at this time. I think they'll get it together. They'll start winning a bunch of games. They're going to win the East, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't know. I brought up possibly trading Kyrie last week, but you might not get too much in return because of his antics. But to me, that's alarming that he took that many shots. Snell, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really watch the game, so I don't know if it was a situation where like they were just like, man, you can shoot. Like we taking the night off. Like you've been here. You ain't been here 2 weeks. We've been out here running around. Like, yeah, you can go ahead and shoot, do what you want. So I didn't see the game to see if it was like he was just hogging the ball and tossing up shots, or if it was kind of like, yeah, we just not, we ain't going too hard tonight. Like, Kyrie, it's your night. You're back in Cleveland. Go for it. Like, I don't know if that was the mood of the team, but I don't know, man. It's I understand everybody needs a break, but to leave and just like not say anything to any, like that's the part that's crazy to me with the whole Kyrie thing. It's not about you needing a break. It was just like, yeah, man, like he could have just told people he needed a break, and it would just been like, yeah, he's taking a break. Like he has that much power where he can, if he, it's almost like Dennis Rodman. Like when Dennis Rodman told Phil Jackson, like, yo, I need to go to Vegas, and it was like, yo, we got to let him go. Like it ain't like they go like, so if he would have said, hey, I needed a break, it wasn't like he would have gotten. I feel like he would have gotten any pushback from anyone. They just would have been like, okay, take a, you know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm putting in my 2-week vacation. They just gonna be like, oh, all right, like go do what you got to do and come back. So that part of it, I don't get. I just don't understand. I just didn't understand it. Of like, hey man, you need a break. Like, I get that, but you could just say you need a break, and everybody's going to be like, okay, like they're not gonna stop you. So why not just say it? Like, hey, I need a break. Like, all right, cool. So I don't know. It's like lying about something you don't need to lie about. It's just like, yo, like, yeah, like my favorite food is fish. Like, no, it's not. Like, all right. Like, yo, like, why are you even lying about that? Yeah, exactly. Like, so I don't know. Like, it was just a weird thing for me. I think he has enough power to do what he wants. The Nets need him. Like you said, we've said before, he's that third piece that I think will get you over the top when it comes down to championships. And they as much as they would try to trade him, I don't think they would get anything for him. And I'm not sure anybody else would take that challenge on without having a superstar team around them already. So,
all right, Chaim, your thoughts?
Yeah, man, the Kyrie, it's crazy. They need him. They can't trade him, and I think he's better off at the Nets, because if they try to trade him, I think from the outside world they're gonna be like, y'all, we don't want that issue, and what are we gonna have to give up to get an issue? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to do that. So he's lost all his trade value. I think he knows that. He wants to be a Net. I think he understands his position in that organization. Like, you can't do shit to me. You know what I'm saying? So he took that time off. He let, like I said, 3 people know, and that was it. He went on about his business, and then he came back. And then for Sexton, to drop 42 chicken McNuggets on him, I think it was like Mo said, like he just came back. All right, just let him get his legs back under him. Let him do whatever he wants. Let him take his shots. You know what I'm saying, to get warm. Because he was off for what, like a week, 7 days, something like that.
He was off. I think
he ain't played in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I think he missed like seven games total.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it was 7 games, 2 weeks. So he's going for 2 weeks. They could have looked at it like, yo, this is your practice. So get your shots up.
I think yesterday was like Kyrie Irving night. Like, I think they had like a tribute for him before.
Yeah, they had a tribute night for him because he won a championship in Cleveland. So it was just kind of like, this game don't mean shit. And like I said, in the grand scheme of things, this like he could have went out and dropped 100 chicken nuggets on him. It don't fucking matter. Like the Cleveland is still going to be either 8 or 9 in the East, and then Brooklyn Nets are going to be 1. It's just the game has a little bit more urgency in it to tell these guys, look, you need to get your shit together. That's all.
All right. Round of applause for basketball. Round of applause. Moving on, we have a new president. We have a new vice president. Finally.
Yeah, me.
It was a long 4 years, but we got through it. And,
that shit seemed like forever. It felt like I was born and Trump was the president, and he just got out. Like, that's how long that shit felt.
Yeah. The inauguration for Biden and Harris took place on the 20th. First thing, like Biden was signing documents first day. He he got us back with the Paris Agreement for climate control. They was doing I think it was the pipeline, XL pipeline or something going on. He reversed that. He said there was no plan in place for the vaccine distribution. I'm not surprised. So yeah, man. The biggest thing for me is when am I getting that $1,400 balance into my account?
Listen, man.
Because
Listen,
we were
man.
promised
Sign,
that.
sign those, sign those digital checks.
Yeah, but no, I think it's great, man. It was really special to see Kamala Harris become vice president. That all kind of starts with like the like Dr. Martin Luther King setting the foundation to create like equal rights for everybody, for minorities and everything. And we had Dr. King Day this week, so it was good to see, man. People showed up and showed out. Michelle Obama looked really good. Um, the Clintons were there, the Bushes were there.
Listen,
Everybody was there except Donald and his family, which I'm not surprised
Yeah,
about.
which is crazy.
Pence tried to save face and showed up.
Because I
Um,
mean, I don't think like
man,
I think Trump is a racist. I don't think Pence is necessarily a racist. I just think
I
he wanted to be the vice president, so he was
nah,
right. He was
I
along for the
think,
ride.
yeah, I think Pence he might not like black people
I
either.
think I think Pence is worse than Trump. So
Yo, but it's kind of wild because he got that like all silver hair, like
listen,
Yeah,
man.
he's like
he
an
looked.
android or something. Like
Nah, he looked like the devil. He Pence. I don't like
Listen, man.
Pence at all.
But Pence, for me, the way I listen, man, Pence need to go back and watch Band of Brothers. Like, listen, man,
yeah,
if Trump say he out of there at 8 a.m., like you just got to roll with it. Like that's your guy. Like you don't
Yeah,
stay. Like,
he looked
you know what I mean?
he did a lot of flip flopping at the end,
Yeah,
and
man.
that I understand why he did it because he still wants to have a political career down the line. I'm not sure how old he is, but he still looks like he will be able to do something within 4 years or whatever whatever he wants to do. But like I said, it was good to see Kamala Harris get into the White House. Um, it was cool, man. And hopefully they deliver on all of the promises that they said they would do. First things first is getting this coronavirus under control. I saw something yesterday where I think they said like 4,000 people died in a day. Like that's just like how is that? Like that is really really crazy. But yeah, the vision that needs to like subside. Like Biden was saying, how he wants to be the president of the entire United States and not just for Democratic people. Um, but yeah, man, at the end of the day, I'm glad Trump is out. We can finally get back to some type of normalcy once we get over this coronavirus. And yeah, man, history was made, and I was happy for it. Any thoughts from either of you guys?
yeah, man. It was beautiful, man. It's just like a beacon of hope, a beacon of light. I think Trump was a black hole in his position. He divided the country. He just expounded on all of the racist rhetoric and bigotry that was like the underbelly of society, and he just slowly raised it up. His 4 years, he just slowly raised it up to a point where that was the top layer. Like if you're in another country and you're looking in, like you look at this country, like yo, those motherfuckers wild. You know what I'm saying? They broke into the Capitol building. They're being like outly racist on on Twitter, on all these social media outlets and stuff like that. And it's just like people have their reservations about Biden. They have reservations about Kamala Harris too. But I don't give a shit. It's like you gotta look at it like, first of all, she's a minority. She's a black woman. No woman has ever got to that position. So you have to look at that and be proud. I don't care what color you are, because it's a first. Anytime a first happens, then that means there can be a second. So any younger female can look at that and say, I can now ascend to that position. So it's good for, face value. And that was the whole thing that like, I was proud when Obama became president. And I think a lot of people didn't understand that because they weren't black and they didn't see that. Like, yeah, we have sports players, we have athletes, they're millionaires and things like that. But to ascend to the highest office there is in the free world, it gives other people hope. It gives other people the drive to go out and do things like that. Like I wore my Arizona State college T-shirt. I graduated from there with a double master's. Less than 100 years ago, they were burning black people in churches that were trying to learn how to read. So, we come from a place where you always have to strive to be better, but you got to first see it. You got to see somebody that has done it to give you that power, to give you that drive to go and do it. And I think that's what Kamala Harris did for, like I said, not only minority women, but I hope for, all women, because anybody can be vice president, so.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Yeah, man, I totally agree. It was like, listen, I hope they can deliver, especially on getting them digital checks out. Like get those get those out. Get the economy rolling back. But with Kamala Harris, that was just like that was a twofer. It was a woman and she was black, so that's like, you know what I mean. That's a 2-for-1 deal. I totally agree with Taheem saying, like, if you don't see it, it's easier to accomplish something when you see somebody else do it. So to see somebody else actually do it, it'll definitely help others behind you. A lot of people can, obviously she's the first, so she didn't have a true path to get there. But now somebody else that's coming behind her can say, oh, okay, this is actually achievable because she did it. So that definitely always helps. Listen, but yeah, we saw a lot of things, I think, come to light under that Trump, and now we're gonna see, man, how things are gonna be, because a lot of people, you can't go back. Like listen, a lot of people act like the internet is going away. So like a lot of stuff that people say and a lot of stuff that people were doing, like there ain't no way of fixing that and going back or saying you didn't did. You know what I mean? We see it all the time. We talk about sports all the time. They bring up ex-athletes' old tweets and ex-athlete. So it's the same thing of like, hey man, like, what were you tweeting on January 6th, 2021, sir? Like there ain't no undoing that. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see going forward how it all plans out. But a lot of people, you already see it. I already see it, man. I already see the. You know what? Look, we need to put things aside and come together now. Like, come on, man.
Nah, brother.
You know what I mean?
Not after 4 years of nonsense.
Yeah, like not like
not after 4 years of you wilding out and calling me every name under the sun.
Yeah, you're not getting that off that quickly. But you'll see, man. Like I said, you'll see it, and luckily, like I said, man, the internet, that thing is, people think it ain't permanent. That thing permanent. You can easily let me go back and look how you didn't post anything on that January 6th. You were allowed all the other days, but January 6th you were quiet.
Yeah.
So that's it is what it is. Life goes on. Get these checks out, man. That's all I ask. I'm not asking for too much.
Yeah. All right. Well, round of applause to Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. Get these checks out. But moving on. Moving on to some quick hip hop news. To my surprise, allegedly Griselda is breaking up. I
He's
don't
speechless.
Know, it's somebody. I don't know if it was a Instagram live or something. Somebody said something about Griselda breaking up, and Conway kind of said something about it or whatever. Taheem, you're our Griselda insider. So do you have any insider knowledge on this situation?
Yes, I have all the news. As the young generation calls it, all of the tea. Is that what they call it?
All the tea. Yes.
I don't drink coffee. I mean, I don't drink tea because I'm an adult. I drink black coffee.
Black coffee.
So,
wait, hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
Did y'all see my post with that Fruity Pebbles coffee?
Yeah, I told you to tell me how that shit tasted.
If you like Fruity Pebbles cereal, give it a try because it makes it taste just like it. But
hell
go
no.
ahead, my
brother. I'm not drinking coffee to drink.
That's too much.
I was actually like disappointed because like I wasn't expecting it to taste exactly like the milk from Fruity Pebbles. Like I put a splash in, and it was just like, yo, oh yeah, we in here now, and it was just all Fruity Pebble taste, and I was like, damn,
Yo, that shit
I like
drive
Fruity
me
Pebbles.
crazy.
Like I like Fruity Pebbles when I was 8, but
Yeah, like that's just too much sugar for a grown man's
I
body.
exactly. I was like, you know what? Let's take it back to my childhood. But nah. If you want to get it, go ahead. But I'm talking like 2 ounces, like something real small, or it's going to taste exactly like the cereal. But go ahead. Griselda Insider, thank you.
Yeah, man. I don't think they're gonna break up. I just think they're having issues with the success that they're getting. Like when you get guys that come from where they came from, and then not only do you give them money, but you give them notoriety. And I think that's the issue. And these are grown men from broken homes. You got to deal with the PTSD of living in the hood. No, I mean that's a real thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to deal with that, and then you're thrust into another arena and another environment, and it's tough for you to deal with. It's tough for you to handle. For guys, their ego, their emotion, their ability to be too emotional is their downfall because they let their emotions get into everything, which coincides with their egos, and they think they should be getting more notoriety than somebody else, or somebody else is better than them, or something like that. I was talking to Charles, and my thing was like, yeah, listen, you guys were not at this point a year ago. Now you all can take care of your families. Why would you argue with each other about anything? You know what I'm saying? Like right now on this podcast, if Spotify cut us a check for $1 million, as long as I would take the lesser. I don't care because we have more money than we had yesterday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't want the notoriety because it's kind of my thing is we all made it and that's good enough. Like you guys can go off and be on boats with strippers and everything else. I don't need that. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think I think they should take that mentality of it doesn't matter who has what because we all made it out of our situation. We all are better off now. You know what I mean? And they're not taking that approach.
But wasn't Conway? He was signed separately from everybody else anyway, right? Before he was with Shady, right?
Yeah, he had obligations through Shady. Griselda as a group also had they had obligations through Shady. Westside didn't, and Benny didn't. I think Westside was actually had obligations through Rock Nation, and I don't know who Benny had his with. I don't think he's
Benny would. I think was doing like distribution through Rock Nation or something.
Okay, something like that. So yeah, I mean that was that, and you got to like they got to understand they're all going to get different levels of money because they're all doing different things. You know what I mean? Like Westside does all the art, and he sells you $15,000 hoodies. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to have money from different avenue streams, as opposed to Conway. And then Benny, I know he's trying to get his guys off of the ground, like his rap group. So they're all going to get different streams of income, man. But it just looks like, from the outside looking in, I don't know the everything that's going on, but it looks like they have enough money to live comfortably, and I feel like that's all you need. Like you don't get this money, live comfortably, and then argue with your brothers. Argue with your friends about who has more notoriety and who has more money. Like at some point, that shit doesn't matter. Well, at no point does it matter to me actually, as long as everybody's being taken care of.
Yeah. I think it's I don't think they're gonna break up. I think it's I think I've seen it you see a lot of groups, especially how their group is set up. They almost have like that Wu-Tang setup of like everybody's their own kind of individual. And I think what is causing the friction is everybody's going their own separate ways and they're growing. And everybody's growing their own separate ways. And everybody's doing their own thing, which is cool. But you're going to hit those certain points or those certain stops where it's like, for instance, like, hey, we want to do a movie. And it's like, okay, like, yeah, like, Ben, you want to do the movie? I really want to do a movie. All right, we need you to get Kanye and Westside Gunn here also. Like, wait a second. But like, they may not do it because they're doing something else. Like they're working on something completely different. And I think that's what's happening like all the way around. Is like Conway is doing whatever he's doing, and then he's hitting stops like, yo, this song is great, but I need you to get Benny and Westside Gunn on here also. And it's like, yo, I don't think they can just drop what they're doing and do that how he may want or how whoever may want. So I think the scheduling is starting to become difficult. Of they're not all in the same spot. They're all doing different things, and you're hitting those avenues, and you're hitting different things where they're like, "Yo, this is great that you're doing it, but I also need you to get." I also need you to get the other two members here. It would be no different than if we all moved to different states and we're all doing different things. They're like, yeah, we love the podcast, what you do the podcast, but I need you to fly them here so y'all could all sit in one studio and do it. It's like,
Hell no.
well, that's a little different, sir. Like, you know what I mean? So I think the scheduling is starting to get, it's starting to get hectic. Everybody having different ideas is starting to get hectic. The money is definitely starting to get hectic. So I just think it's a little bit of everything causing this crazy storm. But I don't think they break up. I don't think they break up. I just don't think you get many group projects ever. Like, I don't think it's something where you could break up. It's almost like Dipset. Like, you kind of like the original members are always being Dipset. Like, it's not something you can just get out of. So,
all right. So round of applause for Griselda. Hopefully they stay together. Continue to deliver good music. All right, that was episode 116 in the books. You can find us on social media. You can find us on if you have any questions or you want to send anything over to us, you can send that over to info@secondandone.com. You want to send us some merchandise, you want to be on the show, you want to send us some money. Our Cash App is now up. You could do that all through the email, and we'll get that. We'll gladly take it. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Taheem is setting up our TikTok as we speak.
I'm not doing that.
You'll be able to look out for that. You ain't gonna do the TikTok like your before and after workouts, or before and after push-ups. You ain't gonna do none of that. None of that.
I'm not doing none of that trash.
All right, man. TikTok is. I don't know, man. That's what the kids are on. We're trying to
Yeah,
expand our audience.
I'm staying away from the kids, man.
We're trying to get as many listeners as possible.
Kids don't need to be listening to us. They need to be in school learning how to read.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, our YouTube channel, Second and One Podcast. All of our previous videos up on there as well. And yeah, man. We've reached championship week. We weren't sure if the football season wasn't going to get through, but we made it through.
What if we get all the way to the Super Bowl and then like one whole team catches corona?
If it's the Super Bowl, then I think you delay it. But no, actually, yeah, they delayed regular season games, but so for Super Bowl,
that's true. Yeah, they delayed it. Okay,
but I think it's the scheduling. Like, you got your Super Bowl performers, you got your national anthem singers, you got your players. Like, if they would have to move it, it's going to get real messy. But hopefully we don't have to get to that point. Yeah. Anything else? Any announcements, man? Any trips planned, or any?
Listen, man, I got a tentative flight to Tampa Bay in the queue. I'm just waiting to hit purchase.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I'm rooting for you guys because I picked y'all to go to the Super Bowl before the playoffs started, and I just want to look like a genius, even though
I don't like Aaron Rodgers, so I want y'all to win.
Yeah. All right. So if there's nothing else, this is the Second One Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We'll get with you guys next time.